Hi everybody, Miss Tinks here. I just wanted to wish you all a really happy new year. I hope that 2021 will hopefully be much more prosperous and safe and rewarding and happy than 2020 was. I'm not here to dwell on 2020, but I can honestly say I am very glad that it's over. What I am going to do is talk to you guys a little bit, just very quickly, about the importance of getting some goals set for 2021, but just generally the importance of setting goals. I've got Harry Potter on in the background, my favourite. So this post, we're talking based around the post that I've put on today. So it's on LinkedIn, as an article, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, it's going on Facebook as an actual post. And then this video version is going on a few of my channels as well, after it's been uploaded to YouTube, which was what you should be seeing it on now, hopefully. So my thinking behind it is kind of explained as I go through it. So I'm going to have a read of it to you. I'm not going to read it word for word. I'm just going to kind of probably ad lib on it a little bit and probably kind of go on and ramble because you know what I'm like. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the actual importance of goal setting and why it's such a good thing to do. So first of all, I want to start by saying that I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I know that sounds really bizarre, but I just don't. The name of a New Year's resolution itself, I don't know, there's just the whole perception of it for me is people saying, oh, it's my New Year's resolution to do this or that or the other. And I'm yet to see a person make that work. Like everybody I know sets New Year's resolutions. They never see them through, myself included. And I feel like that's probably because the whole idea of a New Year's resolution is really motivating, probably for like January, February, maybe March at the absolute most. And then the reality kind of sets in of keeping on top of it on a daily basis, either habit breaking or habit forming to be able to keep it up. And the realities kind of hit home, and the thought of trying to keep it all up for the rest of the year and then permanently, which is the whole point of them in the first place, I think it just kind of demotivates people then more than it motivates people. So people lose their ambition to want to do it really quickly. So then it just doesn't get done because it's usually quite a big goal. And people think, oh, well, I have got all year to do it. But because people think they've got all year to do it, they either take all year to do it or they make a really good start and then they think, oh, my word, I've got to keep this up all year, and they give up. It kind of tends to go one way or the other. So I don't like New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in them. I don't think they are an important or valuable way of setting goals. What I do believe in is setting really small goals and really kind of little steps along the way to a big goal. So for me, my ultimate goal for 2021 is to be earning a regular £1,500 a month income from my business. So that's not everything else that I do, that is from my business. And that for me would show that I can make this work, and I am making it work, and I'm doing it well, and it's all kind of falling into place. It was my goal for last year. So there was a lot of goals that I'm going to share with you on like my Instagram and things like that. There was a lot of goals that I set last year that I haven't achieved purely because COVID got in the way. But you know what? It is the same for everybody. I'm not going to sulk about that. I'm just going to refocus and try again, because that's literally all I've got the power in me to do. That's all I can control is my response to COVID. So all I'm going to be able to do positively from this is refocus and go again. So that's what I'm going to do. And my goal still for this year is that £1,500 a month income. Now, I know that neurologically, as much as I've kind of changed my ways in the last few years and everything that I do now and everything that I teach on programming and personal development, that's sinking in so much more with me now because I do make it a part of my everyday life and it is a habit. But my neurological programming from over the years, and basically the way that we, from everywhere else but yourself, you know, all the other factors but yourself, all that neurological programming that you've gone through over the years, I know for me that if I just said, that's what I'm going to do, and I didn't think about anything else that was going to go into the goal, if I didn't achieve it by the end of January, so if I didn't immediately see a result from that goal, my body would be going, it's not going to work then, is it? You're not going to do it. You're not going to sort it. It's not going to get there. So the whole reason behind me doing this post in the first place was because actually for my own personal development, I got out some of the books that I really, really like to read. And I do a lot of personal development reading and listening. So I will share with you where I've got some of this stuff from. The immediate one that I picked up which I have here, is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I'm actually on the second time of reading this. I've definitely read it at least once all the way through. It might even be the third time, actually, but I am rereading this at the moment. I really like The Compound Effect because as somebody who works with pockets of time, I wear a lot of hats on a daily basis. So pockets of time are what I work in. The entire premise of this book gets me so excited because basically what they're saying is if you do a lot, you have the same goal as if you tried to do it all at once. Because I haven't got the time to do it all at once. I have to do it in little fits and starts. So that whole premise of the book was really exciting. And there's a story in the book that talks about how they kind of asked people whether they would have £3 million all at once or start with a penny and it doubles in value every single day for a month. Now, I know that if somebody put a £3 million check in front of me, I'd be like, imagine what I can do with that money. Imagine what I could do with that money right now. I could walk away today, buy a house, buy a car, sort myself out, business set up, you know, all the investment I needed to do. I could probably do it all with that kind of money. So I know that for me, on the face of it, that'd be what I would pick. But with the penny, now I can't remember how the exact maths works, but you can literally sit and do this on your phone and you can see for yourself. So you would put 0.01 for 1 penny into your phone and times it by 2 and do that 31 times. Now, I think on about day 10, you've got about £5.12 or something like that. And watching that bubble up really slowly would probably be quite demotivating while your friend who picked the 3 million would be off buying houses and cars and everything else. But that penny that doubles in value every single day by day 29 is worth 2.7 million. So you've nearly caught up. It took a month, but you've nearly caught up. But by day 31, it's worth over £10 million. So, I mean, the maths doesn't fit exactly, but imagine the power. That is the basic power of the compound effect, that if you kind of not double down every day, because you wouldn't, you know, unless you'd got 10 million, you wouldn't be able to double down like that every day, you know, the principles, if that's what you were trying to achieve. And you wouldn't be able to save 10 million calories if you just tried to save it, double down on your calorie deficit every day or whatever. But the principle of it is there and the principle of it works. The reality is that one small little change every single day, consistently done, causes enormous ripples, and they can be applied to any aspects of your life. The only drawback to the theory is that the first few small steps, like days 1 to 28 in the penny theory, would be, you probably wouldn't see very much benefit. You wouldn't really notice it straight away, but eventually it all kind of falls into place. With habits and things like that, it would work exactly the same. So it takes a while for your body to become, for your habits to become automatic within your body. When your habits do become automatic, though, it's like that day 29 up to day 31, where it's literally your routine and you are doing it every day consistently. So it takes time to build up and it takes time to work through, and consistency is definitely going to be the key for 2021. The thing is, you're building habits regardless. You're making and breaking habits all the time. And unless you're monitoring them and really, really working with them, they can be definitely working against what you're trying to achieve without you even realizing it. So your habits are either going to work with you or against you. There really is no two ways about it. You've got to decide whether you're going to want them to work for you and help you achieve your goals, or whether they're going to be what holds you back. The main thing I would say, so my top tips for this year, though, for your goal setting would be, think about those habits and identify 3 that you would either need to make or break, or a combination. So you might break a bad habit and get 2 better ones, or vice versa, however it wants to work for you. But either way, you've got to think, well, my end goal for the year is this. And these 3 habits are what I need to start with. And you have to, you know, keep with the penny every day. Double down on your efforts, double down on your motivation, really keep going through it. And once those habits really feel like they are part of your daily life, you could start again with another 3 or however many. You know, it's there's no point me sitting here and teaching you an exact method, because it will be different for everybody. But the principle of the compound effect really, really works. Okay. Identify your motivation by thinking about a few questions. So the questions that I was always taught when goal setting are, why do you want or need whatever it is? What happens if you get it? But more so than anything, what happens if you don't? For me, some people prefer to work either way. So some people can be insanely motivated by that, but this is what it's going to look like when I've got it. Whereas for me, my biggest motivator is, but what if you don't? What would happen if you didn't do that? So what would happen for me if I don't make this business work for me on a monthly income is I'm not going to be able to save for a house, which I want to build. So let's face it, that takes some serious money. I'm not going to be able to let go of, I mean, I don't want to come out of teaching completely, but I am still kind of reliant on supply and cover wages, and I don't want to be. I want to go into school because I enjoy and I love what I do, and I don't want to lose that love for it and be tied to a wage. So for me, that's what I don't want to happen, and that's my driving force. It doesn't always work like that for some people, but sometimes it is good to benefit, to reflect on what you don't want to happen rather than what would happen if you did get these things, because that for me is definitely a bigger motivator. Although thinking about building my own house and having a car and everything else, that's proper cool as well. So it does depend. The other thing I would say is definitely monitor your progress. So in those days 1 to 27, where you feel like you're doubling down but not seeing a lot, just keep track of whatever it is that is your goal, whether it's saving, whether it's losing weight, whatever, followers, learning, whether you want to learn something, and, keep a record of your study time. And if you're doing exams, keep a record of your grades and your marks and your achievements and things like that. Because as soon as you start to see those results, oh my word, is that addictive. It's like going to the gym and taking progress pictures. Once you see that first ab ripple on your stomach, you are hooked. And if you don't monitor your progress, when you have those down days where you feel like nothing's happening, if you've nothing to reflect back on and look at how far you've come, then you will forget about all the habits that you've made such a good start on. So you've got to monitor your progress. Because otherwise, when you do have those down days, they will be the days where you just give it up completely, and all the hard work that you have put in would end up falling away, basically. So that would be another big top tip from me. The last thing, which has come from a different book called 100% Success Basics. They talk about 100% everything, but this one really kind of stuck out with me. I had a quick flick through of it earlier because I haven't read it for a while, and I thought, oh, love this. And essentially what you've got to do is develop 100% confidence in your goal, in your decisions, and in yourself. People always say to me, you are so confident. And that is because I manifest that confidence all the time. Even on days when I am not, you've got to be. Because if you're not, you are not going to make it work. When I stand in a room now, so a few years ago when I qualified as an NQT and I did my NQT year, it was the hardest year of my life, and I knew that it wasn't what I wanted to do full time. And I started to say to people, I'm a teacher at the moment, but actually I'm going to go into personal development, growth mindset, neuroscience, all that kind of thing, because it's been a passion of mine for so long. And I want children to be able to learn and adapt some of those skills as well. It's definitely adaptable. I'm going to look at how to do that. The amount of people that laughed at me was ridiculous. And I could have quite easily gone, do you know what? They're right, and gone back to being a full-time teacher. And I have never done that, because I am 100% confident that this is going to work come hell or high water. And your decisions and your goals and yourself, you have to believe in. Because again, on those days where you feel like nobody else does and it's not working, you look back on your progress, you look at your goal again, you remotivate yourself, and you have to pick yourself back up and carry on. Because not everybody's going to be there for you all the time, and the results aren't going to reflect it necessarily all the time, but it's that daily consistency that you just have to keep going with if you want to achieve big things full stop, let alone in 2021. If you want to achieve things full stop, that's what you're going to have to do. The thing that I've also put at the end of the article is to just kind of be really empathetic with other people. When other people don't understand why you're shooting for what you're shooting for, you have to remember that they are not stood in your shoes. They are not looking at things from your perspective. So if they don't get it, you've got kind of two choices. You either can educate them about it and teach them about what you want to do and hope that they see it a bit more from your perspective, or you walk away from those people. Obviously, people that you see one-off. So like when I would go to certain networking events and things like that, and I'd tell people and they kind of shrug it off and walk away because they were already big, high-flying corporate, you know, already made it. That's fine. I'm never going to see you again anyway. So, but if you've got friends and family who are not on board with what you want to do, you have to try and educate them to see things from your perspective a little bit more, because that kind of friction can, if it's not resolved, can cause a lot of stress on things as well. So that's an important one to think about. That's an important one to consider. I am just realizing that there is one thing that I didn't say at the beginning that goes with the New Year's resolutions, just to kind of circle back, I suppose, because I am done now. The reason New Year's resolutions don't work for me is because you're focusing on one end goal all the time, and if you've not hit it by the end of month one or whatever kind of time frames you're setting yourself, it's so demotivating that you pretty much give up. I actually did a little bit of research because I just got to my references and realised I never told you this. I actually did a little bit of research earlier, and what was really interesting was in Finder, on the Finder website, they had already interviewed or done surveys for a lot of America's population and said, have you set New Year's resolutions? Do you think you're going to stick to them? And already, bear in mind, we are on the 4th of January, already a lot of the people, just over 50% of the population thought they were going to stick to them. So half of the people in America have made a resolution this year, but don't actually know if they're going to bother doing it. Automatically, I'm thinking, well, why bother? And that was my whole thought, you know, when I read that, that was my whole reflection on, well, actually, goal setting is so much more than just one end goal. There's so many other things that go into it. There's so many things you've got to think about, like monitoring your progress, remotivating yourself in different ways, really focusing on what that goal is for when you have your down days and you've got to get up and carry on, because you do have two choices on those down days, really. So it's up to you. So that's my thoughts anyway. It's obviously not set in stone. It's not completely gospel, but I just thought it might be quite useful for some people to see an insight into my perspective. If you have perspectives though, I want you to comment and I want you to give me feedback, because the bigger picture and the different perspectives we can bring in on things, the more people we can involve in the learning about it. So let me know. Just for a little bit of references, like I say, I went on the Finder website to look at the statistics. Forbes have a really good link. It's something like 5 reasons you should set goals. And that's where the bit about monitoring your progress and seeing results can be addictive came from, because I thought, yeah, do you know what? It really is. You know, every month when I look at my content, my social media stats, and I see like my followers have gone up, my Etsy views are absolutely through the roof this week. And oh my word, I was like, right, we've got to get more on there. Let's do it. You know, it is very, very motivating. So definitely keep tabs on that. I've got the Compound Effect book, which is by Darren Hardy. Love this book. Love it. I got it from the company called Knowledge is King. They had knowledgeisking.co.uk. They do all personal development books and things like that. So that's if you want a new copy, but a lot of my books I also get secondhand just on eBay and things like that. This one also from Knowledge is King, as you can see by the sticker, 100% Success Basic. And like I say, it's called the 100% Success Institute. They've got all kinds of different stuff on personal development. This one is about network marketing particularly, because I do have a network marketing franchise as well, but there's so many kind of adaptable tips. There's other things in there that aren't to do with network marketing. So, you know, there's lots to be learned from those things. But hopefully you find that useful. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, you know, if you want to follow more, I do have a link tree. This is another new thing. It's very exciting. I have a link tree. So in all my YouTube videos, I'm going to add my link tree in so that if you guys want to find me anywhere else, you can do. At the moment, I'm using Facebook very regularly as a page as Miss Tinks, Instagram, Miss Tinks Official, Twitter, Miss Tinks, LinkedIn as myself. So if you are at, I don't think my LinkedIn is on my link tree actually, but if you are more kind of professional based rather than social media followers, please just let me know via YouTube or wherever you've seen this video and we can get in touch on LinkedIn. That would be good. I'm on TikTok, although I don't use that as often, but I am going to hopefully shorten this video down to get it on there. And a social media app called Glow or is it, no, a website, so a social media website called Tiglo, which is specifically a community for teachers. That's quite good. I quite like that. YouTube, and then I sell all my things on Tess and Etsy. So if you ever want to find me, I am pretty much all over the internet, and my website is www.misstinks.co.uk. The shop is undergoing some construction at the moment, but the rest of it's up there if you want to have a watch and have a look round. So that's all from me. Have a fabulous 2021. I'm sure I will see you all at some point along the lines anyway. But please, please, please bear those things in mind for your goals this year. If you've got something that you want to achieve, get in touch and let's think about how we can smash 2021. In the meantime, have a good one, stay safe. Lots of love to you all, and don't forget that believing is just the beginning.